Hey, YouTube. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing today? Well, I want to come on here and continue this story that I started earlier on today. But I will wait until I see somebody in here, make sure I'm live. It says live. But now that I've read the book, I read half of the book. So it doesn't have page numbers. Hey, Natural Boss Lady. This book doesn't have page numbers, so it just tells me that I'm 49% through. So I'm halfway through this book, right? So the book, hi, Princess Frazier Laurie, Miss Motown. Hi, Motown. Yeah, you guys, so I'm going to talk about this book. Now, when I started this morning, I was just on, what's the new guy? Sir King's page. I guess he's going to operate from his own page now. He was on his first live, I think. And he mentioned this book. I had heard about a woman was writing a book on this sector, right? So I went into it with the best of intentions. I didn't see anything wrong with if a person was writing a book called The Beef Sector and with the subtitle Beefing for Dollars, I would check it out just because it's about us. It's about this sector, right? Not many people are writing books about, the group that you hang out with. So I went on there and I was sort of promoting. I said, we should look at it. We should check it out, right? The next thing I knew, so it's available on Amazon. The book is called The Beef Sector, right? I'll warn you that it is a little overpriced. It is because usually an ebook, a small ebook, sells for $3 or $4. She has it marked at $10. So I don't know. It's worth $10 for me to check out and see what's going on. So she might want to reprice that. But anyway, I came on not trying to be messy, not trying to be anything, but it is an unusual occurrence when someone has actually published a book about this sector, right? I don't know if any of you guys have read it. Okay, so she says this is book 1 of 3. So I assume she's in the process of writing book 2 or 3, or she's already written them, but she has not published them yet, right? So I said, no harm. Why not promote somebody? Check out their book. So I ordered it, and then I made my little video. And next thing I know, only moments later, Sean Bradley was on here, and he was hot as fish grease about this book, primarily because he's a star in it. Okay, let me not talk too fast. So okay, I said I'm gonna read this book. So I started reading it. I'm about halfway through, and so far, I'm going to give you the names. This book is presented as a work of fiction. In her introduction, she says fiction, work of fiction, over and over and over again, right? To make sure we are clear, this is a work of fiction. However, halfway through, here are the people that I'm able to identify myself. Now, maybe you guys who have read this book or will read this book can identify more people. But I've identified Sean Bradley, Tracy, VS, Heidi Fly. What's the guy, Boss and the Bully? What's his name? Got 2 initials. I'm a boss and a bully. Well, his name, I forgot what his name is. Whatever, he's in there. The boss and the bully guy. I hate to say these names because these people are dead to me, but I have to report the news, right? Report this news because I think it's interesting. So one of the characters is Phi Babe. I hate saying these names, but Jay Wilson, Wiley, Mona Simone. Now, there are other names in there that I couldn't easily identify, but these people are easy. ZT, right, and ZT. Okay, so since Bradley was so upset about it, I said, let me go and read it now. I wouldn't read it, but I said, oh. It looks like I might have stumbled into a story. Now, I had the best of intentions, just promoting a person who's a part of this sector and writing the book about the sector. It meant no harm, right? But not only are these people's names used, each one of them story is used. Pay attention, Tracy. Each one of them's actual story is used in this book. So after you identify who they are, if you can't identify them by the names, which are close, like for instance, they call him Wally, fish-eyed fool. Oh, I don't want to say that name. Okay. Heidi Fly's name is Fly Not Gucci. Sean Bradley is King Trout. Tracy, you have a longer name, but it's Lola is the part of it. Okay, so there are other names, but it ain't that hard to figure out. But the thing is, what I think might be problematic for the author is these people's real stories are being used in this book. We're talking about pedophilia, accusations of, which have been proven to be incorrect. But the stories are told. The stories of police investigations, very personal things. Wally's mental health is in there. I don't know if it's problematic or not, but I think it's something worth checking out. So I'm still going to say, people in this sector, you should check out this book, particularly if you are Sean Bradley, Tracy, VS, Heidi Fly. I just told me the name. VS. What's that boy's name? ZT. Fire. 5'8". Jay Wilson. Wiley. Mona Simone. You are all in this book, and this woman has used your real stories. So I'm only halfway through, but I had to continue this story. Let me say hello to you, darlings. A lot of them are not that flattering. She didn't choose the most flattering stories, and you might want to check it out. Right? We ain't trying to start no trouble with people, and we do. I mean, promotion is selling books, but I just couldn't see how I could just pass up a story like that about a big book being written about essentially us. Now, hopefully, these people won't add me to their story now, but I was not in there. Oh, a lot of people in here. Okay. I'm live. Have any of you guys read the book? The Beef Sector? Yeah, it's really in there. I was kind of surprised at the things that are in there. If it wasn't for Bradley getting so emotional about it, I wouldn't have even guessed that it might be problematic. But I know real names, and even the title of the book is Beefing for Dollars. So they seem to have a problem with that. I understand from Bradley's live that a person named, I think her name is Lolo, is going to do a reading of this book. She's going to read the whole thing. And she said 9:30. So I guess that would be, I don't know what time it'd be here, but at 9:30, she was going to read this book. Her name is Lolo, if anybody knows who she is. I don't read well enough to be reading books aloud. People say, go ahead and do it anyway. I said, no. But you guys check it out. Has anybody read the book? More books will be out, says Natural Boss Lady. Yes, it's supposed to be a 3-part series. Now, I'll warn you, don't get mad because this book is only 48 pages. So if you're going to be pissed off by paying $10 for 48 pages, then maybe not the best bet for you. But that's the ebook. I guess the other book it's pretty high. It's overpriced. But she can change that if she chooses to. It's certainly worth 45 minutes. I mean, well, I guess you people who can read normal rate, you probably get it through it in an hour. Natasha Milan, I didn't see us in there yet. So some of the stories went over, like the situation with VS and Bradley in the court. She went all through all that. Many stories about VS is one of the primary characters, and King Trout. We know that people have, given Bradley that name. Hey, Sir King, you're here. Hello. Well, Sir King, it all started with you because you mentioned, see, this social media is a powerful thing. because you simply casually mentioned that girl's book this morning, and I immediately clicked on it, and now it looks like there's a real story in there. So I would advise people who are at least in it to read it and see how they're being portrayed. I didn't see a lot of exaggeration with the stories. I mean, I didn't see a lot of embellishment or making it something worse than it was. It seems like she's just simply reporting what happened under slightly falsified names. I did hear it first. Okay. Y'all not responding at all. Nobody's read the book. I mean, people make a big deal out of $10. I mean, $10. What's $10? So we ain't gonna have that many books written about this sector. I just downloaded the sample, but we'll read it. Okay. Oh, they got a sample on there? Yeah, it's worth, I mean, it's only 45 pages, so it's something you can do in an hour. For the paperback, okay. Red line. So I don't feel terrible that we're uncovering this thing or people are going to be talking about it, because the girl, her whole point is to sell books. So if it's been sleeping, she released it on, I think, January the 7th. It's January something. So it's only been out by like 3 months. And I haven't heard any buzz about it. So if she gets some buzz about it, people start talking about it, even though some of them might get a little angry or whatever. That's kind of what you do with books, right? So you guys go in and see if you can find more people. I started to have a contest. I said, oh, no, that's being messy. I started to have a contest. Somebody can tell me every person who all is in this book. I said, no, you're doing too much then. You're good. You're doing too much, honey. But it is interesting to try to figure out who people are. And there may be more. I'm only halfway through 20 pages. I just want to come in here and kind of, you see, somebody needs to have Natasha Shawberry SB needs to have a seat. Well, he is portrayed in this book. I mean, I don't know how you can get around that. A lot of people will have a reaction to being portrayed in a book if they were never consulted about being portrayed in there, right? So, cover last 2 years. Yep, it's okay. The book will probably cover last 2 years. All of these incidences have, the book opens with the day that the Queen's Court ended. So she opens the book with the beef between Kaya and T.S. Madison. When that ended is when she started the book. So this is probably real time. It was an interesting read. I mean, it's an interesting read. I know the stories already. So the stories are already available on here if you were following it. But when you put things in a book, I don't know. I think I would like to be consulted if you're going to release something like that. Yeah, 99. That ain't no huge amount. I mean, a 47 page book. I mean, it's only worth a couple dollars. But she probably won't sell a whole lot of books. The most people who are going to be interested in this thing is going to be probably people in this sector or people, YouTubers, people like that. Hey there, Rico. Rico, stop showing your stuff. You know, handsome self. They always trying to get you in trouble about just throwing your stuff. You ain't got to do all that. You are handsome. I would love to have that skinny body you got, though. Now, that is a dream. Okay. Hey, Jay Dunn. Yeah, okay. So I'm a little behind here. Okay. Tracy, you better check it out. Spend that $10, girl. I don't know. I don't know. What's her name? Her name is Lola something else. Lola something. Lori, a.k.a. Lolo, I'm excited. Are you Lolo's going to read tonight? Lolo, can you answer me? Are you going to read this book tonight? You say, I'm excited. The person who's going to read the book live is named Lolo as well. So I don't know if it's you, Lori. You might want to put your link in there so people can tune in. I mean, it's a story worth looking into. How are you going to skip over something like that? Okay, I mean, yeah, it's just a one click and it's done. And as I was walking my dog, I said, I don't like to sit and reading books. I'm dyslexic, right? So it just takes a lot of concentration to stay on the page and stay in line, right? So I always listen to my book. So I hadn't used my Kindle in a while. So as I'm walking the dog, I was listening to it. So even in just that few 20 minutes, I was able to get halfway through it. I think it's interesting. It's worth reading. Some people say, I ain't paying that much money. You're making too much out of a few dollars, honey. Support the authors. They won't be selling, thousands of books. So I guess they got to get something for their time. So after I finish this, I'll finish it tonight. Then I'll see if I want to continue the series. She done made a serious baby. I did go over to the young lady's page to say, listen, I ain't trying to start no trouble after I read a couple of these other people's reactions to it. I was just trying to promote your book, but you will sell books. And the next thing I knew, I went back there and the comment was taken down. So maybe she don't even like me. How you gonna write a book and nobody talk about it though? I mean, what's that? Isn't that the whole point? Okay, yikes. So the young lady, is that you, Lolo? Is it Lolo? Yeah, I think it's Lolo. It's a slightly unusual name. Sir King, Nikki, does Timothy Blaine have an email? Yeah, I'll put it down here. This is the one I use. There you go, Sir King. Don't send me no nudes, though. I don't look at no booties. I've been heard about the book on Trivosity Live months ago. It's only been out. She didn't release it until January. And we've been on lockdown since then. So I haven't heard a lot of buzz about this book. I did hear somebody was working on the book, or another person may be working on it. Writers are going to be tempted because this is, good, juicy fodder. But this person is using actual stories, actual people's stories, right? So I don't know if she's covered by changing names or not. I don't. Some people have some buzz about using slang, beefing for dollars, whatever. I don't know how that has any legal bearing. Is it copyrighted? Nevertheless, it's interesting. The book. Travelocity? Live months ago. Okay. Well, we're going to lift it up a little bit more. Okay. Yikes. Hello, Tim and mods. So most of y'all have not read this book then. Fish-eyed fool from Fish-eyed Fool. She called Wally a fish-eyed fool and told his real story. Now, she fitted all that in. Hey, Tracy in chat. Mm-hmm. So apparently Mr. Sir King has got his own channel. He's had it for a few weeks, but now I think was that your first live, Sir King? So y'all want to hear from Sir King? You gotta go over and see him. I still think you're a decent guy. I'm not. I don't know why people turn on you, Sir King. They probably just get, I don't know. More will be revealed. Beefing for dollars. Yep, that person's still dead to me, so I don't like mentioning that name very much, but that is in the title. Like if somebody says, okay, they're always saying, okay, or Little Richard says, shut up. Now, can somebody use shut up in their book title if they want to? Is it a copyrighted name? Shut up, even though we know who it comes from. So after you guys read it, some of you guys read it, then we'll be able to discuss it intelligently and see if it is harmful to people. There's some pretty private stuff there. I don't know if Miss VS would like her name mentioned quite so much. She's a star. and not in a good way. See, it's tripping. I'm about to get it and read it. Yeah, that's the thing. Just check it out. One click on Amazon. So it's not a continuous story. It's more like these stories are things that have happened in real time since maybe a couple of years ago, since the time that Kaya and T.S. Madison, when they broke up, that big old thing with Monique. Remember Monique? She ran off the stage and all that kind of stuff. This is the time the story begins. Of course, it's interesting. I mean, if you're talking to these people every day, you're watching these people every day, you subscribe to them, how could it not be interesting? You know, let me see if I can put this girl's, I think that was the last thing that okay, I just posted the link to Amazon. I don't mind promoting other writers. I really don't have a problem with that. I wish people had promoted mine more. But my moderators do a wonderful job. Nicole Reloaded. She's always posted me at Miss Motown. Okay, what's not? Okay, Melange. I ain't seen what's not yet. I haven't seen him in there. But I haven't read. I didn't. There were a couple of people I couldn't identify. So, we don't know everybody. Short stories. Yeah, she manages to make it, well, just like it appears on here, telling backstories on all these people and major beefs that involve the police, beefs that involved accusations, accusing people of things that were not true. Lots and lots of beef. Well, the book is called The Beef Sector, so what can we expect? Reed and said she thankful. Okay. The Reed said she was thankful. The Reed, is her name the Reed? I think her name is the Reed of Philadelphia, right? Sir King. Yeah, if you're writing, that's what you want. You want some controversy. You want people to read it, tell you what they think, right? So, let me see who else is in here. I'm gonna post her one more time. I love it when the last thing that you copy that stays in your computer until you copy something else, right? So you can copy and paste. All right, that settles that. So what else is going on? I haven't been up on here very much today. What was that thing we got an update on Trump? So now he thinks that Fauci is playing both sides of the street. Like, to tell the truth is a different side. That's the opposite. That's the opposition. To tell the truth about this thing that's killing us all, particularly, I think Trump is influenced. I really feel it in my heart that after the information came out that this was affecting more and more minorities than anybody else, I think he became less interested in taking care of people. I believe it's part of it. Because now they're saying those numbers are something like 60% are African Americans and another large percent are Latino people who are dying. A lot of it's about them going on to these jobs that other people, higher echelons, better jobs, do not have to necessarily report to. But I think it's an element. So anyway, they're slowly easing Dr. Fauci out because he's dying to tell the truth. It's hard to tell the truth when you got this hulking beast hovering behind you, and contradiction everything you say. So he's really struggling to not piss Trump off so much that he loses the job that he's had for 40 years. And that fool on Fox, what's his name? Tucker somebody? He's on there talking about, oh, that man got too much experience. He's been there 40 years. Are you going to listen to that or somebody elected? What the fuck does being elected got to do with this man's expertise in disease? He's a scientist and Trump is a reality star. So we're supposed to believe what Trump says. I think Trump cares less because it's affecting more minorities than anybody else. I'll be willing to bet that influences him. He was all serious until those numbers start coming out. Thank you, Nicole Reloaded. Posting my books. That's my best book, people. That's only what is it? 100? No, I think it might be 200 pages, 200 some pages. The Epiphany. Love that book. It's standalone, even though it's part of the series. You can read it by itself. They're also on Amazon. Did she make a video yet? Yes, she is live. As far as I know, she's still live. She was saying she was going after Bradley. I guess they got some ongoing beef. I didn't even know who the woman was. But yeah, he got real mad about it. And then she got, I remember a movie back when I was it called Mr. Belvedere? I think when I was a teenager, I used to watch this movie called Mr. Belvedere. I watched it more than once, about this guy who was a butler in the neighborhood, right? A butler who had written a tell-all book about the neighborhood. So everybody wanted to get a hold to the book, right? And they all got mad at Mr. Belvedere. So I guess it's kind of a natural reaction when someone is telling your story besides you, right? So I don't know. We'll have to see what these people's reaction is. But I think it's worth talking about. And particularly, you can't take a real story now. You can't take somebody's real story and then all of a sudden put a twist in it and then turn it into fiction within their story. Now that's embellishing their story. So if you're gonna commit to telling real stories, you got to tell it just like it happened. So it limits your creativity, right? Because now if you mixed it up, I mean, she told Wally's library story, I believe. I mean, you can't change it. That's the thing about fiction, nonfiction. So Bradley's his video is called Fiction or Nonfiction. He's making the distinction that really did happen. So it is not fiction. And it is not fiction, and you should present it as reality. So I don't know where we are with that. People have told others, people tell stories on like the girl with Whitney Houston. Well, of course, Whitney Houston is dead, so she can't offend her. But I'm sure there are family members who get offended, But that's her story. So she was part of that story, Let me see. She will get through, Miss Motown. She loves the attention. Okay, I am okay. This psoriasis. I'm sorry. You have psoriasis? I didn't think that black people got psoriasis because all the people I knew that had it were white, but I guess that's not true, is it? I'll tell you. I hate to say this. Okay, I got to make this PG, right? I got to tell you the story. Okay, back in the day, I was living in L.A. and I relapsed on alcohol from a 12-step program there, right? So and come to San Francisco on this drunken bender. This thing went on the whole summer. I forget what year it was, but a whole summer. And I met this attorney. He was a lawyer, right? And when I was staying with him, I was staying in his apartment. Of course, I'm running from LA. I'm just staying with him. So he had psoriasis, right? And I had contacted something from some trick that I had. I think it might have been scabies, one of those things, something nasty. So they give me the prescription for scabies, right? I know y'all take and run with it. So what? And my tube for scabies, I contacted this a few days ago in that same bar I met him at, actually. It looked exactly like his medication for psoriasis. So when I went to the bathroom, I accidentally put his medication for psoriasis all over what do you call those things? I don't want to use good language. Let's just say the two round things. I had put it all over there, right? Rubbed it all in, thighs and everything, right? Moments later, I was screaming, ah! The shit was burning the skin off my balls. Apparently, the psoriasis medication was intended to take the skin off. This other thing was to soothe and kill this other thing that I had, right? I never will forget it. Psoriasis, I hope I'm talking about the right same thing. Psoriasis. It burns the skin off, right? The medication. Anyway, it taught me to read the labels, honey. Gay guys like apocalypse who hate trans do so out of jealousy because trans can get the guys some gay guys lust after but can't get. Okay, let's talk about this. Secret agent Foxfire. He's going to educate us a little bit. Okay, well, maybe he's talking to somebody else. I shouldn't say anything about it. Well, we talk about it anyway. He's on here, right? Shea Whitfield, the gay guys like apocalypse, I guess that's a person, who hate trans do so out of jealousy because trans can get the guys that some gay guys lust after but can't get. Now, some people are going to say that's BS, secret agent, but I'll tell you. I told you, you sell drugs here in Tenderloin, right? Most of my customers in that particular hotel were trans women. I'll tell you this. I would get jealous many times of some of these tricks that these girls were charging. They were paying the trans women money. I would have done them for free. So in my instance, I did get a little jealous because they were getting guys that I want. Because a lot of those guys were more masculine guys, more DL guys. And some of them were cute. But they didn't want me. They want what they want, honey. They want what they want. Even in prison, I was too masculine. Because a lot of the guys, if you are a trans person in prison, they love you. Some of them girls have the time of their life in prison because everybody's trying to get at them. Why? Because they can't get no woman. Some of them in there for life. They'll never see a woman again unless it's a CO. They like things that are feminine. So you trying to hit on the dude, they're like a dude hitting on the dude. I ain't into that. I don't do that, dog. They like the trans girls, though. So a lot of the gay boys would get in prison and they would start fluffing it up a little bit, a little bit of soot on the eyebrows. Well, you had to make the makeup, right? So they would take a toothbrush and burn the end of the toothbrush, right? And then hold the toothbrush up to the ceiling. That black smoke that comes from burning plastic, scrape that off the ceiling, and you got your eyeshadow. If you wanted to have lipstick, you would take Vaseline. You can buy small Vaseline things from the commissary, and you would mix red Kool-Aid. Well, I guess you do purple. I see people with purple lips these days. I mean, I don't know. But you would put red lipstick into the Vaseline, and that would give you your red lipstick, right? And a lot of these gay boys would end up doing that because it made them instantly popular with the straight boys. Okay, hope did I take it to a wrong place there, secret agent, or do you feel me? They said she faked it. She said she actually gone. Okay, I'm confused. They said she faked. Y'all talking about something else? I don't know. Okay, Rainey. Rainey was Shell in the book. Okay, Shell. Do I remember Shell? Book, or she just blowing energy as she always do. Rainey was Shell in the book. The book, if you read it, you'll see it's pretty obvious who the people are. There should be some kind of contest. People can figure out who everybody is. Who can guess every person in the book? I know those ones I read off, though, those were absolutes because the stories matched the names. She didn't. Mm-hmm. Nene, I have no idea. Okay, you guys must be talking about the girl who was committing suicide. Is that what you're talking about? I should stay out of other people's business. How about that? Okay, Tim, there is a YouTuber called Apocalypse who is gay and constantly attacks trans girls like Natasha. Apocalypse was recently caught flirting with a minor kid. I don't know nothing about no Apocalypse. I remember I used to go with that other person, that dead person. They used to go back and forth. People have prejudice. I mean, they have prejudice. You got prejudice, just shut up about it. I don't got to come here and tell you about who I don't like. It's bullshit. It's just you don't know. You can't judge, can't classify everybody by some bad experience you had. Maybe at some point some trans person has whipped his ass. That's another fascinating thing about the gay community. Usually the trans girls fight better than the gay boys, and the lesbians fight better than the gay boys. That's a fact. Lesbian relationships, they do tend to lean towards the violence. I've known from the various bars I've been to. And trans girls, you don't go fucking with them too much because they've been fighting the whole life. So we're really on the low end. So somebody might have jumped on him. I don't know. I'm not saying that somebody did. He might have reason to hate that one person, and then I'm blaming the whole damn community. Confusing the tubes. Wait a minute. Where is the guy? This is Roxbury. Where is the guy that does the cartoons? He's got to do a picture of you confusing the tubes. What tubes are confusing? I'm always forgetting shit. It's funny, but everybody I know in their 60s, we all had the same issue. So it's not an issue when I was in church, people of a certain age. I mean, I don't feel like an older person, but it goes along with it. We're just not as sharp as we used to be. Right? So you go ahead and find the picture guy. Now that guy is brilliant. That guy who, if you're talking about the same I'm talking about, who does caricatures, he done one of me. He's done with me and that dead person. He's very extremely good, and he's smart, because what he does is he just on his own picks a picture of somebody on YouTube, and then he just does the picture and don't charge nobody nothing. He just puts it out there, right? Subsequently, we all know this great artist, right? So it may be working out well for him. I'm sure eventually he will be able to build a business from that, because he is an extremely guy. It's the same guy that I'm thinking about. Sometimes I use his little thumbnail. The thing he did for me. Secret Asian man. Apocalypse swears he isn't gay. Well, okay. So we're dealing with confusion here. That's just like William McRae, not gay. Did y'all see? Did y'all see William McRae? Okay. So what is this? The usher board? No, the other one. What's the other one called? Not the usher board. That other one that went down for a while, talking about McRae and him. Somebody know? I know all you guys know. Anyway, not the usher board, but the other one. What the hell is it called? I'm not gonna go on until somebody tells me the name of that other site. Heathen Central. Okay, thank you. You on top of it. Thank you, a secret agent. Heathen Central. They posted this thing of William McRae going off. I just saw it yesterday, so I guess it's been up a day or two. I think it's called Pull Up. Anyway, y'all should see that dude. He was so hot. I guess he came across one of these videos where he's heard what people say about him, right? So he was threatening all the people who post comments about him being not so attractive, about his features, about his hair and his nails. And he was threatening them and telling them about his gun in his purse and how he wants to pull up on this one and pull up on that one. You know, he gonna beat them all down. He's told them that if they file some kind of a strike against him, then Facebook and YouTube release all the information concerning the person. I can track you down. I'm in his house. Y'all remember that? I'm in his house. Yeah, anybody could go beat up Andrew Caldwell. Hell, that ain't no fight. Mother is so funny. Who is that? Rico? I'm trolling. You got Rico picture. So I don't know. Do you guys use your pictures? I don't even understand the trolling thing. So I don't know if it's a Rico or not. I need a drawing. You confusing confusing the creams? Oh, that burned the skin off my nuts. Excuse me. I try to be decent. Oh man. Okay. Ooh, that air feels good. As long as no skateboarder go by, we'll be okay. Yeah, it depends on how much you want to read it. You guys could probably pass it around because after you can read it in an hour and a half. If they allow you on Kindle to, you can pass it to somebody else and let them read it. Or they may give you a decent sized sample. I heard that person Lolo is going to read it tonight. She said 9:30, but I don't know what city she's in. She's on the East Coast. 9:30 is 3 hours difference from here. So she should be reading right now. I don't know. Okay, secret agent Foxfire. Bishop Earl Carter was live yesterday talking about William McRae and the hotel room where it is alleged that McRae sprayed his doo-doo, aka suckbulla, all over the sheets and wall. What? He sprayed boo-boo on the sheets? Well, it sounds like somebody who then went off on the hotel and just decided to trash the hotel. But that is one. I hope that boy ain't that nasty. They say McRae still lives in hotels. I mean, I don't know. All this blackmail and all this extortion and all the stuff he's accused of, you would think he would have at least an apartment. But some people put everything they own right on their back. They can get everything they own in a suitcase. I don't know. Mother is Caldwell. Mother is Caldwell. Granny is McRae. So McRae making an appearance. He was hot at y'all. Boy, he was so mad. And then if he could read the comments of when he's in Central, he'd be ready to kill somebody because they ain't never flattering. Watching him, I mean, reading the comments is almost more fun than looking at his face. I don't know. It's okay. You jacked my name. Okay, I haven't watched McRae in months. I used to watch him when he was going through that court thing. I don't think he was posting. So he does have a page on here, but usually he's in Central or the usher board will pull out the highlights, or if he's got something particularly. I mean, he's just a guy you love to hate because everything he says is so nasty and so bad. Shooting people and stuff. That's crazy. Then y'all want to call me talking about I'm threatening somebody. That boy, he be wanting to blow y'all damn heads off. Y'all don't bother him. What else is going on? His cramps. Oh my goodness, they caught him red-handed. Okay, I ain't gonna make this the William McRae show. I don't want him to come over messing with us. But I want to say this: secret agent Foxfire. Now we've been speculating that William McRae was an unstable person who lived from hotel to hotel room, right? Like weekly hotels kind of things. And now apparently, I'll read what he says. McRae was on his Instagram live last week and accidentally switched the camera view, which showed his cramped and super messy motel room. He quickly ended and deleted the live, but everyone saw it. Is that the evidence? He's never come on here and shown no apartment. And he really just shows you the closet with him putting on furs and things. Seems to me if I was going to be Kojic and I was going to say that I was no longer homosexual and I'm delivering all that, I would at least get rid of the furs and the fingernails and the weaves, I don't know. You can't understand everybody, honey. Everybody has a right to be whoever the hell they want to be. Do y'all think Reed will get sued even if she changed the name in her book? Suing is a strange thing because, first of all, you want the people who you're suing to have some money, to have something. Most of these guys are not even working. They're just YouTubers, right? So you can't even garnish a paycheck. So if somebody has something, it's worth suing them. But if they don't have anything worth suing, all you can do is do it just on GP. So I don't know that she's in that. I haven't finished the book though. It depends on how badly people want to pursue it, right? I'm not no legal expert. When I wrote my book Meth Monster, I would, if I put somebody's name, like my stepfather's name, who I despise, I would put not his real name, not his real name. And I did that because I only used a few people from my real life, but I always put not his real name, and I would change just those names, right? If the person actually existed, but they were all real people. I would just in parentheses put not this person, not his real name, and I wouldn't use anything that sounds even similar to that person's name. Right. So maybe there's 5 or 6 people in there that I used their real name. It was important to the story. And they enjoyed the book. So I guess they like being mentioned without being embarrassed. No, I don't think anybody's going to invest money into trying to get that, to sue that person. I don't see that. Depends on how seriously they take it though. SB was really hot about it. But then he's not portrayed in a flattering way. He's suggesting that it's not fiction. He's saying that if these people really existed and what you've done is actually tell their real story and you simply change the name to something similar to their name, then you're not creating the story. It's not fiction. You didn't make it up. It's based on, you could probably clear yourself by just saying, and she can always do this. If you're a self-published author, you can always go in there and add something, right? On your ebook or your hard book even. You just add in there based on real events, or these characters are fictional. I'm sure she has that in her book, but they're based on real people, real events. So I don't know. I never attempted to do something like that. Now, it's probably any writer though who's on YouTube has thought of doing some kind of work with what goes on here on YouTube. Just didn't seem interesting enough for me to invest in creating whole new characters and all that. So if you're going to make it up, just make it up. You just got to know how people, how the streams work and so forth. But don't base it on anything. So that's what he's hot about, because the events actually happen. You guys will remember, I think it's worth $10 just to us. It ain't worth $10 to nobody else. And certainly if you're in there, you should read it. You should know what's out there. I don't know if she come on. She read some, because when I was researching a little bit, she's read some of the book. She read the first few pages, and I made it halfway through. So you might be able to get your part just by listening to her. Sounds like a beef shortage, maybe. Is there a shortage of beef? I think it's interesting. If someone wrote a book about this, you guys don't bitch because you make a reality show. That's still, it's a project being born out of this sector. I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing. It depends on how you do it. And what you do is how you do it, right? People can write plays. People can do all kinds of things. I heard, who was that? Shelly. Shelly wants half the money for that dead person. She wants her to split the money. People, if you're going to write, don't overprice your books. That's one way to kill a book. Don't overprice your books. I'm telling you. You may think, oh, I'll get more money. I'll get fast money. If nobody buys it, you kind of defeated the purpose, right? Price it correctly. They'll give you, they'll tell you how much the book is worth when you self-publish. And I imagine when you publish as well, maybe if you have a publisher, he will, suggest what this book is actually worth. Or you can research it yourself, go online and see how much other books in the same genre and with the same page count. They basically mostly on page count. So don't overprice your books, is all I'm saying. Yeah, she'll sell books to us, to this group. I'm sure a lot of people clicked on, what's $10? But if the people at large, they're not going to do that. People with books that are 45 pages, those are free on Amazon. I should do a free promotion. I haven't done that in a while. You can also have the option of making your books free for a limited time, like a day, just for promotion's sake. Okay. Coming there is becoming on movies now. Desensitized to movies now. I can't hardly watch a whole movie. I've been forcing myself to watch, if I commit to a movie, to watch the whole damn thing from beginning to end. Usually on Amazon, I watch a few minutes. No, this ain't it. And I watch a few minutes of something else. No, this ain't it. And then I'm wasting so much time. I haven't watched anything, being too critical of the movie. So I do like some of those series they have on there, though. I do enjoy doing it. What was that? I had a good one I just watched. It's called Dead to Me. There's a series on Amazon called Dead to Me, and I believe it's something like 7 episodes. Yeah, that was great. I liked it. So you can find one that'll hold your interest. It's good to binge watch those things, But with all this technology we have these days, it's hard. I think it affects your attention span. We used to getting things in little clips and very fast, right? So sitting down to watch a whole movie is a 2-hour commitment. To read a book could be a 3 or 4 day commitment. That's why books are not doing so well these days. Nini said, I'd rather watch somebody else read it. I assume that person, Lolo, is still going to, I heard specifically, she said she's going to do that. 9:30, whatever town she lives in. It sounds like it might be in the East Coast somewhere. But I don't know the name of her page. Did you? Okay. Nameless, back to the days being an actor was so special. These days, it's not. Right. It was a big thing to be a movie star back in the day. But now there's so much stuff out here. I mean, you have thousands of stations and movies and sitcoms and TV, and big stars are doing television shows and all this stuff. Same thing happened to books. If you, back in the 50s, let's say, to be an author was a big thing, a big deal, right? You wrote a book. Oh, I want to read your book, because people were still reading then. But then when they start getting all this other stuff, all this quick fixes, people stop reading as much. So now, not so much to be an author. So if you want to write, just write. You can self-publish it yourself. You weren't going to make millions of dollars from it anyway. So you self-publish it yourself and let that be the reason, So in that way, Amazon has changed the whole thing around, because it doesn't cost you anything to self-publish a book. So whatever this girl gets, it's all profit. But people don't read like they used to read. I mean, even big authors, they're writing books. Not like the used to be. Every big author would release a book every year. Bookstores out of business. How many bookstores where they're at? I can only think of 2 in San Francisco. I mean, of course, I don't know all of San Francisco, but they used to be all over the place. Bookstores. Some people will always love to read, though. Me, I like to listen to audiobooks. All American yet? What is All American? Nini? All American. Is that a black thing? Is that new on Netflix? I don't have Amazon Prime. I'll check it out. Let me write it down. All American. Something just tell me in my spirit that I might like it. Says Nimi likes it. Okay. Oh, and that one Ozark is great too. I really like Ozark. I think they had, was it 2 or 3 seasons? Ozark was great. Yeah, I don't go. I ain't went to the movies. If somebody takes me to the movies, I've had that situation a couple of times, but I haven't been to movies. I paid for the movie in years. I'm like, I don't need no big screen. Everything you can think of is on here. And if you wait, you got patience to wait 2 or 3 months. It'll be on Amazon or Netflix anyway. So no, I'm not into buying sitting in movie theaters. Okay, Nini, I'll check it out. Okay. Classic movies like Trading Places. Usually I'll be saying, oh, I already seen that movie. But you haven't seen it in 30 years. So seeing it again is almost like seeing it for the first time. Yeah, classic movie. They have a lot of those on Netflix as well. I don't like black and white stuff though. It has to be at least in color. And sometimes you go and watch a classic movie, you say, well, damn, they got all these movies. Page after page after page. Surely there's something else to watch other than something I've already seen. Same with porn. Surely there's something I haven't seen. What movie do you think is the most overrated? I think all those action movies are overrated. For me, they barely got any dialogue. It's just from the first scene, they shooting at somebody, chasing in the car. I mean, I understand young people like that. It's almost like video games. People have different tastes, but those are all overrated to me. I said, when does the acting take place? Damn. Casanova sucked. I didn't see Casanova. Casablanca. Oh, the original Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart? Most of them are all remade. So because you say Casablanca, do you mean an old Casablanca or is there a new one? Yeah, younger people love that stuff though. And I guess it's a masculine thing, all this shoot them up and killing everybody. But I don't want you killing from the first scene all the way to the last scene. Just one killer. What I just watched? I just watched something. It was, let me see. It wasn't Denzel Washington. It was I think it was Jamie Foxx, where he was a cop and he was undercover, and these gangsters thought he robbed the casinos for some money as dope. And he had his son there, and they kidnapped his son and all that. I mean, it was just one violent scene after the next. It's you mostly you'll be paying all of the stunt people because they hardly even talked. Doesn't take much of a script. Yeah. See, this YouTube stuff, you can just jump in for 10 minutes and jump out. It's not, you don't have to commit to a long period of time. All right, my darlings. Hello to everyone. Hope I didn't miss you. Thanks for moderating Nicole Reloaded. Nikki, were we on live today together? I went on somebody's thing. I think I saw you on there. Was that with Kelly Love, I think? You didn't say anything. We should have met. We should have talked. I've been trying to join these people's. The big thing now is this StreamYard. That's the big thing everybody's doing, right? So people can just jump around and interview each other and talk and whatever. I thought at first I didn't like it because there's always all the yelling and screaming, but it's kind of fun, So I've done a couple of. I don't know if I want to do them myself. I like just one-on-one interviews with people. I can hear what's going on. Okay, becoming okay. Anybody else want to suggest a series or a movie before we leave? For your compadres? Almond Brown, you always here. I have your book, Meth Monster, on Audible. Haven't listened to it yet, though. Okay, check it out, Almond Brown. Meth Monster, of course, you know, I'm dyslexic and I hate the way that I sound when I read. So I didn't read it myself. I had to partner with a professional actor, right? So it's read by a white guy. Now, at first, I thought I searched and searched and searched. I said, well, I should at least try to somebody that sounds like me a little bit, but that's not important. And now the book has been selling like crazy for the last 6 months. So maybe it appeals to more people, you know, if you're not being so exclusive. But the words are the same. The story's the same. So I hope you enjoy that, Almond Brown. You will certainly know Mr. Timothy Blaine after going through that book. At least up until the time I get clean. Okay, I want to say this though before we leave. Nicole Reloaded. Yes, absolutely, without question. If the book has a current, not expired copyright, reading it as performance without written permission by the rights holder is a violation. When you self-publish the book, just there's only one line. Check the box if you want it to be recorded Library of Congress. So that's your copyright. That's all. That's pretty much automatic. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. I'll check out this series, All American. And Greenleaf is a great. Oh, I love Greenleaf. Wendy Campbell. I have reviewed. What did I start? The first or second season? But Greenleaf is ending. This is the last season. It's supposed to start next month. The last season, and I will be reviewing that. I don't get great, people viewership because not everybody's watching the same shows. Not everybody's interested, but I always review that show, Greenleaf and Queen Sugar. But Greenleaf is ending next month. This will be the last season. Okay, guys. All right, later. Thanks for checking in.